Back it is Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you, chat family, for kicking off today with the Woo crew. And it's Woodward Pistons segment right now.
Sir.
So you guys already know we got to get the legend drum rolled in here. And we're going to kick things off right away with it. Rod starts. So, hey, yo. Shout out and welcome to the legend Detroit News. Rod, Beard, and brother. Take it away with Rod starts. These Detroit Pistons. These fighting Detroit Pistons. See, I got on my Street Fighter shirt.
Put them up.
They normally call them Ryu and Ken, but today is Ryu Holland and Ken Stewart, man. Shout out to our boys.
Hadouken!
Right. Oh, man.
Shout out to the legend.
Hold on. Before we even get into it, Dante DiVincenzo, like, for real, one game, right? Tell me, you got to tell me how you really feel. Like, that's some garbage, right?
That is my thought. Is really Stu 2 games. This is the OKC game
Yes.
all over again. Stu wasn't even over there.
Stu
was on the other side of the court, out the frame, and Dante came up like he's tough guy and want to do a I can't even think of the wrestling move. Like it's a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat underarm.
Right.
What are we doing? What are we doing? And Stu comes in talking about people with Legos again, and it's just, okay, that's 2 games. Because you've been in other incidents before?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's how the report read.
it's the same.
Yeah.
It's
I told
the
you.
same stuff I told my kids. When you see trouble brewing, go the other way because you're going to be implicated by association that you were there. You must have done it. Stu didn't do anything,
Bro,
from what I saw.
you already know when
Stu was just there.
When Stu start getting to do that point,
Oh, yeah.
it's a wrap, dog. They just go throw the flag.
Oh, my
Heck, throw
God.
him out.
I
When
said-
he does the point, it's done for him.
I said the same thing, though. I'm like, ultimately, should he, he was over there. He was helping out a teammate, bro. But ultimately, 2 games for him, that's based off rep at this point. Like, I felt like that was absolutely garbage, bro.
He wasn't the aggressor. He didn't.
Yeah,
start
like, what are we
anything.
doing?
He went to go pull his rookie out of the pile. That is worth 2 games. It's just like, come on. I didn't even think it was worth 1 for him.
Stu went out there like the first 48, just pointing at everybody like,
Right.
Stu?
First 48.
First 40.
No,
Bro.
just being it. So this is on the refs, and this is really about what the league has to do when these incidents pop up. Because there were hard technical fouls before that on the other, I think it was two possessions before that, where you could see it was starting to bubble up. And the refs were just kind of like, oh, yeah, play on, whatever. And so when this happened, Naz Reid absolutely instigated this whole thing because he came out pointing. And so Ron ain't falling back from that. And then Dante, out of nowhere, if you're trying to break up the situation, then break up the situation. But if you're going to roll up to Ron, like Ron don't want that smoke, Ron wants a seat for 2 in the smoking section.
Right.
He was not backing down from that at all. So that is really Naz and Dante who did that entire thing. Ron's defended himself, and Stu is just kind of there.
The wrecking ball.
There. Literally there.
Man,
He's trying to show up so he doesn't get fined, and he gets fined and suspended. That's
Hey, man.
Ron, you right, was
that
ready
rep.
for it too because Dante kind of aggressed him first. And as soon as Naz Reid started talking and like shaking his finger at Ron like that, Ron instantly he eliminated
ready, bro.
Dante.
Yeah.
He took his arm and just pushed him to the side and walked up to Naz. And I was like, Ron is really about that life, man. Like y'all
smoking section. He wants
Yeah.
the smoking section.
No, big facts.
Dog, you know what? I feel like when you talk about all of the different improvements on this team, just this team's overall fight and hustle across the board, this isn't something where it's just reserved for Ron Holland and Isaiah Stewart. But you see the clips of like Jalen Duren. Let it be the Pacers. Jalen Duren is all in the middle. I don't know what beef Cade and Jalen and Tyrese Halliburton have, but there is real beef.
Yeah.
And it's like this whole team, man, is really ready for it. And what I like is that there's a lot of people who say, yeah, but they lost that game. I'm like, listen, they were already down Cade and Tobias.
Right.
And people keep
7
saying,
players, bro.
Yeah, a lot of T-Wolves fans out there, oh, this is hurting your team. I'm like, bro, They tripled their win total from last season.
Right.
I think they've won a lot of games doing it this way. And JB Bickerstaff said that. Like, we are going to push this thing to the limit, and we're not going to, just because we play to the line, we're not going to allow you, though, to besmirch effectively our identity, our character, and who people say that we are. We are playing good basketball. We're not playing dirty basketball. Y'all just got to get your weight up a little bit. That's, if I want to paraphrase or summarize what JB Bickerstaff was saying, and I love the fact that he found himself in the middle of that, taking up for his guys. Man, they got somebody who was going to bat for them, Rod.
Right, and I think the key here, two things. One, they turned this thing around in terms of the losing and turning it into winning. But now they've also established culture in the same year.
Yeah.
The same season that you thought, let's get one of these things right. Let's get culture, even if we still have a losing record, or let's start winning and we'll figure it out somewhere down the road. They've done both at the same time, and that's really, really hard to do. And so, like, who was it? Was it Channing Frye? I forget which one of the ESPN guys it was, said, when other teams do this, it's heat culture. And they will call it, hey, they're just being tough, they're being whatever. It might have been NBA TV because he was talking with Isaiah.
I remember this, yeah.
When the Pistons do it, this is who they are. This isn't who they are. This is them being tough, them trying to get respect. If they got the respect and they got the calls, then this wouldn't happen. This is what they have to do in order to get some of that stuff. Yeah, it's going to matter down the road.
Preaching.
And yes, give me all 7 games of Pacers Pistons. All 7 games. I'm watching all. I'm getting the VCR out and taking all 7 games of that because I want to see what Pistons team comes out on the other end of that.
You got Kavase fired up over here, man.
You guaranteeing 7. I think that's a 5-game gentleman sweep by the Pistons, but that's just me. That's just me, though.
Sticky note that,
that's just me. Hey, get your notes. Get your notes. Get your notes. I'm here to provide some sticky notes, dog. I'm here to provide some sticky notes.
Let's go.
What's up with it? We didn't even have one last week. I had to make up for it, Rod. I had to. I'm sorry. You talking about 7 games. What, you think after the regular season that the Pacers put the Pistons through, that it's 7? What, man, no.
I can't wait.
That's a 5-game gentleman sweep by the Pistons.
What up, though, Kavasi?
It's on wax.
What up, though, brother?
Oh, there we go. We can take Indiana as James Johnson. We can raise him with our Isaiah Stewart. Realistically, talking about pound for pound, muscle for muscle. Like, I'm taking Stu.
Oh yeah,
taking Stu every single time, man. It's going to be.
We're going to talk about this more in Swisher Break. Don't think you just got away from that. We're going to talk about this some more.
Ooh, man. Pistons in the playoffs, man. You see what this does to us, Rod? But listen.
No, you put KG at the desk, and this is what you get.
You're damn right.
I like this version. Let's go.
It's shout out to our brother Flannel Sam, too,
man.
Yeah,
like,
I can't wait till we get him back. But, yeah, KG at the desk, man. He's always doing this thing, man. Glad to see him have
just being real.
But Pistons, they got a game tonight, prime time, against OKC Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and those Thunder. We know how that went the last time, and it was physical. And I do believe that the Pistons are going to go out there because of the way that they play and give themselves a good opportunity to quit themselves well on national TV. And it was cool to see ESPN advertising this game a week and a half out, their playoff push theme that they have going on for their commercials. And it was Cade Cunningham highlights. And it's like, you know what? There's our guy on the main stage. Yeah. There's our Pistons. And you're right. It's because they fought for all of this. You see even Bill Simmons. You see Mark J. Spears. You're starting to see the national contingent of hoops heads and hoops talkers and hoops media start to say some of the same things. And it is because of this foundation or this culture that JB Bickerstaff tried to establish right away. They are 2 games behind the Indiana Pacers for the 4th seed in the East. Obviously, that means that they would host a playoff series, which would be absolutely bananas considering where they've been the last few years. But they do sit a game ahead of the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Pistons are in the 5th seed, 42-33, and firmly, in one of those top 6 spots. So Detroit Pistons, was it 42-33 for the
hey, I'm just saying, man.
On the note, if the season ended today, right on the nose.
I'm only a few wins. I'm gonna be a few wins off.
They got 7 games left. That 46 is still in play for me, but You know it's going to be an interesting close to the season. You do have the Bucks, who are hobbled, and you have 2 games against them. You have the Knicks as well, but you still have some pretty winnable games for these Detroit Pistons. But that's probably going to be our first Swish or Brick question that we start off with.
Okay, cool.
We'll start off there, man. 7 games left. What is that record, man? So,
Show me the graphic.
Let's go. Pull up the graphic, JB Smooth.
Jay Bizzle.
Swish or break.
Swish or break. Swish
think
or
of
break
beauty.
the chat family. You guys already know what the deal is. Get your comments, your answers to some of these statements into the chat. And definitely, we got those 7 games left, KG. You can kick us off with some music, Cavassier, and then kick us off with the question, man. We got the 7 games.
All right. Let's see here. Do you want to start with the physicality question?
We'll start with the remaining. April has 7 games left, and what that record will be.
Oh, okay. Well, the Pistons will. I didn't get the April.
My fault.
Yeah, no, you all good. But you can ask it since you got it.
Yeah. Listen, the Detroit Pistons, they had won 17. They were 17-10 in their games just before All-Star break, and they needed to go 17-10, at least 17 games the rest of the way to win 46. They sit at 42 wins right now, with 7 games left to go, and we need to lock in what those win totals will be for these Detroit Pistons. Again, the hobbled Buccaneers, Bucks twice. I'm sorry, Milwaukee Bucks. You got the New York Knicks. You have the Kings, the Grizzlies, who I don't know what's up with the Grizzlies right now. The Raptors, and then the Thunder tonight. This is the final prediction. What say ye, KG?
Give me 4-3.
4-3. So you got them winning getting to the 46 plateau.
Yep.
Hey, Cavassier Chase.
I'll say 6-1. I'll be a little bold.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's the loss?
One of the Bucks games.
One of the Bucks ones?
Yeah. We're gonna beat OKC.
Okay. Fired up. JB Smooth, what up though? 7 games left.
Oh, I was going a little in between both of you guys. Give me 5-2.
5-2.
5-2. Yeah,
Gotcha. So
I see
the
this
47.
OKC and the Kings game kind of going sideways. But yeah, those are only 2.
Kings games are always weird with the Pistons, man. Always freaking weird. And I see Kiazi in the chat. He says 4-3. Michael Wary says they go 5-2 and they win 47. AD is 4-1. Giannis is a beast, and he scored 30 points in 5 straight games, man. Giannis is definitely a beast. Hey, Rod Beard, what say ye?
I'm gonna say 5-3. Lose to OKC. Split the Bucks and the Knicks. We'll say the Knicks at home because that last 3 games is 3 games in 4 nights. That's gonna be a tough shoot for them to go.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's one of the Bucks games. They're gonna go 6-1.
Yeah. Bucks, Knicks, and that OKC. I think those are 3.
Ooh, yeah, you're right, man. There's Saturday to Sunday. They got 5 games in effectively 7 days.
That's a gauntlet.
Or 8 days. That's tough. That is tough to close the season, man. I hope that they get some type of respite as you enter into playoffs. But what's our next question, KG?
All right. Well, we will go back to the Pistons' physicality. I think I asked this in a forum last week, but is the Pistons' physicality hurting more than helping? Swish or brick?
At this point, you saw what happened in the Minnesota Timberwolves game, and there's a lot of people who believe that. And I know that we got a little fired up about it, but in the grand scheme of things, when you look at it, this team has won a lot more games playing this brand of basketball, playing it and towing the line. And we've seen the Pistons teams in the past who have won. They had everybody complaining about their defense, but they still played it right to the line. It wound up forcing the league later to have to change some rules. But this team won more than they lost by being the more physical team and by being the aggressor in all of their games. So, start with you, brother.
Yeah, I like the fact that they go out there and they play with an edge. The only thing that you kind of need to start worrying about is in a playoff situation where everything gets tighter, when teams are, purposely maybe trying to agitate you to get players thrown out. You got to learn how to toe the line a little bit better. And not to say that I don't think they can, but it's just something that, is on your mind going forward, because in a playoff situation, you can't afford to lose a beef stew. You can't afford to lose players like that. So
then this one probably be like a rim out brick.
Yeah.
Rim out brick. Hey, what about you, Cavassier Chase? Swish or brick? It's their physicality is helping more than hurting.
I mean, I say it's a switch. I mean, it's what got them to like this many wins. You know, they're not getting pushed over. They're being the aggressor, and you know, even if it ends up costing them a little bit, like they've built a good enough team around them that you know they've been able to withstand, and, you know, injuries, you know, people being out for games, like, you know, it's so. I think it's helped like shape their mindset, and I think basketball as much as in your head as it is on the court.
Yeah. It's so technically we a break. Hurting more than helping, I think is that how it's supposed to be? Yeah. So, but yeah, you're in the camp of what their physicality is doing is effectively powering everything that we see them doing out there.
Yeah, I think it's like the foundation for like how the team is like playing. Like, you know, like I said, it starts from the ground up, and they come in with that attitude that like we got to go out there and grind and go after it.
I feel like they give teams something else that they have to think about now. It's not just the X's and O's, but now you know this team is going to come out here and physically impose, and you have to be ready for that.
Reminds me of that scene in Troy when they're about to take the beach, and Brad Pitt's like, you see what's waiting for you on that beach? Victory, like take it, it's yours. And like they're like, JB's empowered this team to go out there, and they're like, yeah, you know what? We are going to take it. It is ours.
JB Smooth, swish or break, the physicality is hurting them more than it's helping them.
I agree with you guys. I feel like this is a rim out brick a little bit because it's helping and hurting at the same time. KG, as you said, you don't want to see this happen during the postseason where referees are basically eyeing this team down, saying we're not accepting these calls or anything like that. And you know what? It's helping them on the side that JB Bickerstaff is like, you know what? Be tougher out there. It's helping them become better teammates and brothers as well too. But the NBA doesn't want to see the bad boys Pistons once again. They don't want any of this physicality. So this is a rim out for me, unfortunately.
And I see the chat. Skydog thinks that it's hurting them, but Michael Wary and Dante151, they think it's a break. They think that the physicality is actually helping them. Skydog says, stop trying to be the bad boys.
I don't think they trying to though. Like this, it's not like fake. It's not like disingenuous what they doing. That's the edge that they play with, and they go out there and play with a fire because of what they've been through to this point. Yeah. We do have to remember a lot of these players were on these really, really bad Piston teams over the last 2 or 3 years. So yeah, they tired of losing, and they want to go out there and they play with an edge. I don't think that's bad. And shout out DNC ENT. He pretty much said that the Pistons' physicality got them to 45, 46, maybe even 47 wins. So clearly it's not hurting. Like,
and Chuckle Cheese says it's not hurting at all. We are in the dance. And I like this too. David Buchanan. The Pistons' physicality, aggression and physicality equals MCDC, going for it on fourth downs. It's what got you to where you are. It won't always work, but it's who you are. I like that comment. What say ye, Rod Beard? Man, I like that one a lot.
I mean, you're in the dance. You're at the open bar. You got the shirt kind of unbuttoned a little. Yeah, they're there. And it's because of this physicality, and what some people are calling physicality is how you have to play in the playoffs because they're going to swallow the whistles in the last couple of minutes a little bit. This is the way you need to be. And is it really physicality? Was Ron Holland's foul on Naz Reid really physical? That's
like that.
Foul. That's a common foul. So some of it is just reputation, and if they got the rep already, and coaches are going to the refs before the game, hey, watch these calls, watch how physical they're getting with us, then we're already in their heads before the game starts.
Yep, exactly. We've heard coaches step to the pregame podium and say, oh, yeah, we already let the refs know. Yeah. It's like, wow, you show up with X's and O's, and now you got so much other things to think about. And realistically, with how tough this team has shown themselves to be from top to bottom defensively, like even Cade Cunningham, one of your better two-way players in the league. We've seen and we've talked about those stats, especially for whatever reason, his ability to defend at the rim. Guards that get downhill, the action against him, he's been able to sneak away with some blocks this year.
Yeah.
And deter some shots. And so you're looking at just that. And then you got to go Jalen Duren, who's taking a leap defensively. Isaiah Stewart, who's been one of your best rim protectors and paint protectors. Ron Holland and Asar Thompson, who can absolutely put wings in just hell. Even if they're scoring, it's still taking so much energy, so much time, so much usage out of a player that we've seen the Pistons be able to have more success towards the end of the season in these second halves than they did in the fourth quarter to close games than they were in the first half of the season. So, Rod Beard, what say you, man?
No, it's absolutely it. And I'm just excited for the playoffs and being able to see what they can do. This is, like we said before, this is what we've been working up toward for the past few years, is to see where this Pistons team can be and how this team was built. Finally starting to see some fruit bear out of that is good.
Definitely. We got
All
one
right,
more?
next one up. Pistons don't have the depth to win a first-round series, swish, or brick.
This is one that I have seen around the interwebs, Rod, is that people are saying, though the upstart Pistons have a bright future, they don't necessarily have the experience and the depth to win a first-round series against a team that's already been in the playoffs in prior years. So, Rod, definitely deliberate on that. Chat family, get your answers in the chat, because we've also seen this bench go out there and go 3-1 in games that Cade hasn't played in the last 4, and it looked really good. And this isn't the first time that they've done that. This offense, the cohesion, the system that is in place, it works really, it works okay. Very, very serviceable without Cade. So we start with you, KG.
Big brick, making a house. No. And like you pointed to, the 3-1, without K being in the lineup. And even aside from that, we've seen a couple other times this season this team be able to hold up if K, has to sit out a game or two. So I really feel like the depth on this team is really, improved, especially with the Dennis Schroeder trade. And you running out a lineup of Malik Beasley, Dennis Schroeder, Ron Holland in the playoffs. Like, I think that's pretty damn good. Maybe Marcus Sasser in spots here and there. Of course, Isaiah Stewart as your big man. I think they have more than enough depth to win a first-round series.
Hey, what say you, Cavassier?
Yeah, I think it's a brick as well. They have the depth to win a series for sure. I think it's like when you get to
you guys are confident in the experience of the young guys.
Yeah, I think if you have a rotation of 8, you can definitely win a playoffs. I think when you get into the second round, like the semifinals and the conference finals, you really start to see the tired legs take place. So, the Pistons are young though, and so I don't think that the wear is going to be what takes this. I think it's going to be, if they get beat, it's going to be more or less like the mental mistakes, the unforced errors, and not like the pressure of being in the moment, but just the unfamiliarity of it, and not knowing how to handle those mistakes and battling through the attrition of it. So,
hey, JB Smooth, what up though?
KG, can you repeat the question one more time? I forgot.
The Pistons don't have the depth to win a first-round series.
Oh, this is a brick, man. This is a straight brick. It don't matter. I don't care if it's New York, Indiana. We winning. That is it. This is a straight brick.
Okay. Hey, and I see the people in the chat as well. They're bullish on this thing, and I wonder how people feel as well about the experience heading into this playoffs, because they're going to be relying on a lot of young players still on rookie contracts. But Jay Hart, all caps, best bench in the East. And I stand on that.
Yeah, I said that.
Hey, and that's where a lot of people are at. Dirty Dr. D says, brick AF. DNC ENT, this is why I'm not tripping about Stu. I think Paul Reed will do just fine with Thomas Bryant for half of basketball. And I guess that is as it relates to just this team's depth, if they have to go there. You want Stu in there more than you want Paul Reed in there, but they got some stuff, man. What say you, Rod Beard? The depth, the experience. You got any concerns heading into the playoffs?
Of who? The depth and experience of who?
Hey, this Pistons bench.
Airball. The Knicks don't have the depth to win a first-round series.
Big facts.
The Pacers don't have the depth to win a first-round series. Let's talk about that. And those are the teams that the Pistons would play in a first-round series. We will see. It'll all come to light. But the Pistons have better depth than both of those teams. If we're really getting to it, because you added Schroeder, that solidified one of the weakest spots you had on the roster. With Sasser, with Thompson, with Holland, those guys have grown over the course of this season. They have a better bench than the teams that they will be playing.
You know what? And I'm so glad you mentioned Dennis Schroeder, because it's allowed Marcus Sasser, in my opinion, to play just a little bit more his role. We've talked about this since he's been drafted. Combo guard. That's where it's his best. When you get a Dennis Schroeder here and they're putting the ball in his hands to make the plays, especially with Cade out, we see those assist numbers jump up. We see him filling the stat sheet.
Yeah.
I think this is really good for the Detroit Pistons just ahead of the playoffs, because you added more experience at the trade deadline. You didn't get younger, and you added another player who's played in big moments in the playoffs. All of these players have it as it relates to the vets. And then when you talk about Cade Cunningham and what he's done in college, and Marcus Sasser, these guys have played in big spots before. It's just a notion or a matter of their development, and what we see more than ever, how J.B. Bickerstaff has put this team in a really good position from an X's and O's standpoint, really good position from a development standpoint, and really good position at being able to motivate these players to the level of play that we've seen this year. Whether they are the vets, whether they're the young guys, or whether they're new to the team, you would have thought that this squad had been together for a very, very long time, which was honestly one of the staples of the 04 Pistons. They weren't together that long.
Yeah.
It was just the synergy was right, the brotherhood was right, and they all understood what they were playing for and really identified and connected with the city. So, you know, I agree with a lot of what everybody is saying as it relates to what this squad can be, and especially when you bring up the playoff matchups, Rod. That's such a great point. That's such a great point. They're going to have a good opportunity to move
after the
on.
After the fights, the Pacers won't have anybody left. So
Yeah, that's real. That's real. You think they go a 9-man deep rotation in playoffs?
At least. Yeah. I mean, I know they tighten it sometimes, but I can see this being a situation where it's 9. But ultimately, you know, they have the opportunity to turn up the minutes of some of these players that have been on minute restrictions, like Isaiah Stewart hasn't gotten a lot of minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
But this has been one of his more healthy years, Rod. You know, I've noticed that. So they're doing different things to keep themselves ready for this opportunity, and we've gotten more of the combination of these players playing together than not. Jalen Duren has not missed a whole swath of time, multiple parts of the season. You know, and now Cade gets an opportunity to kind of rest up his bruised calf,
Right.
you know, a little bit before we get into the playoffs. So I'm happy about the fact that this team, their best lineups, they get to actually turn that up now going into the playoffs and turn up that depth. So can they go 9 deep? Yeah, I think if they need it, they definitely will. They have the room now to play around with fouls, so they can turn up that physicality and know that they do have the ability to go at least 9 or 10 deep if need be.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think that 9 is good, considering that Beasley is kind of like a pseudo starter anyway. Y'all know the minutes going to be staggered in the playoffs anyway. But once they get Cade and Tobias back, this team is going to look totally different. And I'm very excited to just see how they come out and perform. And I don't think the experience is going to hurt them in a lot of ways, bro. The way they play, the way J.B. Bickerstaff manages this team, I think they know what's in front of them, and he'll have them guys ready. Rod, how do you feel about it? You feeling confident going into the playoffs?
Yeah. There's nothing up there.
You said they won't win a series, so I got to keep checking in with you because the sticky note in the booth says that you said that they won't win a playoff series. So I just got to check on my strong friend. That's all.
Okay.
The gentleman suite.
Yes.
Woo!
The Pacers don't want to see it. The Pacers don't want to see us. I promise you. I promise you they
I
don't.
mean, it's Pacers or Knicks. Either way.
Either
You
way.
still running from the Bucks, huh?
Giannis is not scoring 70 on me. I don't have to see that smoke. That
Yeah.
put me in the no smoking section on that.
I feel you.
And I contemplated it for a while. So, man, let me just kind of look how this thing is going. And I felt like the Pistons might have an advantage as it relates to their speed, their youth, a little bit of athleticism. But Giannis and still some of those pieces they have, man, I just...
Oh, you stepping down, huh? Yeah, my man had a hot take about a couple weeks ago.
I never stepped up. I said that I believe you look at what this Milwaukee Bucks team is, but it's the neutralizer of Giannis. That's just the component of it. That's just like, ooh, do you really want to play with that type of fire?
And Rod even expanded my thinking. Do you want to face a Giannis that feels like he has to carry the team? Like he's the only option. Like, yeah, I don't know if you want to do that. Because we don't match up well against him.
And he gets foul calls.
There's no Chris Middleton either. So
Yeah.
that man is just on a mission by himself, him and Bobby Portis. Nope. No thank you.
And just whenever Lopez decides he wants to shoot, it always goes in when he plays the Pistons.
I swear, bro. That irks my soul.
Yeah, and you're right, man, because the Bucks don't need depth when you got Giannis, but those other teams, they definitely do. And that's where you're looking at the Pacers and the Knicks, and it's just poetic at this point in time. Go out there and play the Knicks. It's just poetic. The storylines, they kind of write themselves, against the Pacers. I wanted to see Broadway Cade, and it's still an opportunity to get that. But this Pistons team just feels like they just want to go out there and slug their way to as high, a win total that they can, and that might put them in a position where they're opening up that 4-5 matchup with the Pacers rather than a 6-3 matchup with the Knicks.
a first round series for this team would be unbelievable. I mean, it really would. And chances are it probably won't happen, but man, if they were to get to that 4th seed, who wants to really come in LCA? LCA will become a dangerous place to come play. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine
know
that?
The fans gonna be. Hey, you know what, Rob Beard?
They not ready for that, man. The league not ready for that.
I was gonna ask you any last thoughts.
Absolutely. You finally get to use the Chevy Plaza. Come on now. Come on, finally.
Talked about it.
That thing been collecting dust for years. Come on, man.
April in the Chevrolet Plaza. Let's do it.
Let's rock, man. Let's rock. Thank you, Rob Beard, as always, for your time. It's so appreciated. I know the chat family, they love it as well every time we have the legend Rod Beard on, sports editor-in-chief of the Detroit News, man. Thank you, brother. Any other last words from you?
No. We'll have some good stuff coming in the next couple of weeks.
Hey,
yes,
let's
sir.
rock. Let's rock. Hey, JB Smooth, I think the people, they want to hear about where they can go for some lunch, huh?
Thanks, Rod.
Thank you, Rod Beard.
Thanks, Rod.
See you guys.
The brother, the legend. Overall, great person, man. Just overall. I'm so grateful that we get the time that we do with Rod Beard.
Absolutely.
Who's covered so much sports here at ground level and helped so many others along in this media game. So shout out to Rod Beard. But Buddy's Pizza has been serving the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946, so we're talking about another Detroit legend.